Welcome back. It's the second episode of Rugby365TV as we look at the outstanding players from last week. Sticking with backline players, ex-Flav, we've got Gavin Cowley. Gavin, thanks for joining us. Putting you in the same family as Christian Stewart. How does that make you feel?
I'm not in his family. I didn't act in Hollywood.
And then, of course, we've got Howie Khan as well back. And we'll be discussing the Rugby365 team, as they put it, and getting Gavin's opinion on that. Let's start at fullback. Lee Halfpenny's been suggested by the 365 guys. Maybe a mention for Pat Lambie. Lee Halfpenny amazing under the high ball, but Pat Lambie was amazing too.
Yeah, I think sort of there's some differences there. You know, I think Halfpenny was really good all round. Lambie pretty much good all round as well, under a huge amount of pressure.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got to look at the French fullback as well. You know, he just brings something different to the game. I'm comfortable with the decision around Halfpenny from Wales, because I just think the Welsh team as a whole as well were just so dominant at times, and I think he was a big factor in that.
Howie, there's no debating there's going to be a contentious issue when it comes to Flav. You're an ex-Flav, so you'll have a great opinion on this. 365 have said Rhys Priestley from Wales. We've even got Morgan Parrott from France. Seems 365 have gone with France for the whole 15 team virtually. But I mean, I think Rhys Priestley, he's had a fantastic World Cup so far.
He has, you know, and I mean, he went there obviously also in the belief that maybe he wasn't going to be number one. You know, he's just grabbed that opportunity. He's still a very young guy, but I think his decision making was just so absolutely spot on in that game. You know, his tactical approach showed maturity beyond his years, and
the whole of Wales showing maturity beyond their test team almost.
Exactly, because they are a very young side too, you know. But you know, the fly-off position is so vital from a decision-making point of view, as is number 9, and we'll talk about that just now, I guess. So for me, that is very much, he's a terrific player and a great future, I think, for Rhys Priestley.
Sorry, just to cut across you. What I actually find amazing about Priestley is he missed that drop goal that cost them that win against South Africa. Yet that drop goal has actually put them into an easier side of the draw. So is he being picked because he actually lost them a game and he's ended up winning them all the games? I find that absolutely fascinating, because I think after that first game, everybody thought, right, Wales could be on their way home. But the way they've regrouped, and Priestley in particular, is with James Hook in the wings too. I think he's done very well.
If we look at number 9, scrum half position, it's been very, very crucial so far. And a man that stood out this last weekend at least, Dimitriashvili, played very well. But then, of course, a person who's going to be crucial to success, Piri Wipu, who not only kicks but is also a great scrum half this weekend. Scrum half position is wide open.
Yeah, there's all-round abilities that Wipu brings. I mean, obviously he can play fly half as well. For me, Yashvili also brings a lot to the party, but Mike Phillips was absolutely outstanding. I really, if you have a look at his work rate, he's a very big guy for a scrum half, but he gets around the park, he gets through an enormous amount of work, and I think his clearing from the base of the scrum is better than most. So for me, I'd actually go with Mike Phillips.
Okay, so shot down there for 365, and I think rightfully so. To agree with him.
Spanner in the works from Gavin.
Number 8, the guy that name just popped up all game, was Emmanuel Haranoriki. He just played really well for an old guy. He's playing some great rugby, and number 8 shone, I think, more than almost all the other number 8s, which you call all of them.
No, look, there was talk that would France bring it, and if you've got a guy like Haranoriki bringing it, then France will win. And he's not a big fan of the English. He always takes it. He's gone on record as saying he hates the English. He tends to raise himself for the crunch, as they call it, and he was brilliant. He led from the front, and I thought he was a big factor in France's win.
David Pocock has been enormous. You know, he's physically strong. He's quite a big guy as well. For me, my doubting Thomas here is really Thierry Dussetois, who I believe has played such good rugby for France for a long time. He's a really good captain. He's got good leadership in him, but there's so many guys to look at that position. You know, Pocock is the talk of the town. For me, Dussetois should be the talk of the town.
If you take a look at the locks this weekend, last test match ever for Victor Matfield, and I don't think he could have played it any better. I think they won 5 out of all the Australian lineouts, and it was all Matfield.
Yeah, he was absolutely outstanding, you know, and it was just so good to see his all-round work as well. We talk about line-out steals and his ability to control his possession. That's just, you know, in your last test match, at his age, I mean, he's just really got through so much. So it was really good to see. You've gone with Brad Thorne as well as his mate in the lock position, and again, an unsung hero in many ways. He gets through so much work. He's physically abrasive, which is another thing that I think you need, and I bet you that if Victor can't play with Bucky's alongside him, he would choose Brad Thorne, no question.
You happy with Brad Thorne at your
Definitely. I mean, he's 100 years old or something, I think, but he just keeps going. And, he'll be finishing off now too, so we mustn't forget that. We singing Victor's praises, and rightly so, but Thorne's coming towards the end of his test career, and I think he definitely wants to go out on a high as well.
Right, that's our team for this week. Great to have Gavin's opinion. We'd like to know what you think of what might happen this weekend. 2 semi-finals. Let's look at Wales versus France first. How do you see that one going?
Well, maybe I can look at it overall. Back in June of this year, I made a rather sweeping statement that wouldn't it be strange if we had a reenactment of the 1987 Rugby World Cup final with France playing against New Zealand. Essentially, that's where I think it's going. I think New Zealand have shown that they have the mettle, even at home now, with all the pressures that are on them to actually go through to the final. And the French, I'm backing them to get out of the right side of the bed again this weekend. If they don't do that, they're obviously
good games in a row is a big call for the French.
Well, you never know. They can do it. They have the ability and the all-round ability. And if they do get out of the right side of the bed, they're going to win that match.
Gavin, thanks very much for your time. Hopefully your predictions come true. I know it'll make many South Africans happy. Also, don't forget, before we go, we're giving away some things on the site this week. We've got some Addy Zeros which we're giving away. These are the guys that Brian Abana wears, all the guys wear, and of course some Predators as well, so you can win those. And then the old England jersey, the new South African rugby jersey, we are giving away this week as well. And if you want to win that, just check out the details below. Until next week, cheers.